I think that this past season was a fascinating season for them because I think obviously Brock, there was a little bit of known from, the half a season that he played as a freshman. And, I think he had to deal with expectations this year for the first time in his career. I think the other two kind of developed and grew as the season went on as to being key figures for our offense and for our football team. And I think they first had to figure themselves out. How do they become the best version of themselves? And they did. And now it has the ability to take what they did well, and to be really honest with you, there's a lot of video of what they didn't do well and really grow and almost become what they have the ability to become within their position groups. And really all three of those guys are in that situation right now. I think the quarterback piece of it always takes time you're going now into your junior year, and I think this is a great time to watch a guy like Brock begin to really flourish. And I think you saw that. I think he's ahead of the curve for what he's done and what he's had to do for us. But I think those other two, they still got a big. There's still a lot more out there for them to really become what they've got the ability to become. You think about Breece. I mean, you're talking about a guy that only started half of a season for us,
and still gained 800 yards.
Yeah, and super talented. I mean, there's a guy that's still, I say all the time, he doesn't even he has muscles in his arms and legs yet, and he's just that's how naturally gifted he is at playing the sport. So I think developing physically and then developing within the scheme offensively and allowing us to put some scheme around his skill set, I think is really big. And then I think the same thing with Charlie. I think you look at Charlie and you still remember he's just a young player. It's really only his year two of him actually playing football, and so I think you even look at his body and the movement and growth that he can make, and then I think just continuing to be a perfectionist at what he does because his position forces you to be a perfectionist.
Is Breece 1,000-yard rusher?
Oh gosh, I mean, I think Breece can be as good as he wants to be. I think he's a guy that has.
That's the bar. I mean,
sure. If that's the bar that you use, that he's a guy that can really do what he wants. I think he's certainly a super skilled football player, and I think what excites me at that position is, Tyrell Brock, I don't think is far off, and I think he's a guy that, the only thing Breece had on him was a couple of months of spring practice where I think that helped him, but I think those two guys have a chance to be really special.